Credit scores! Does checking your credit score lower it? If you have questions about how to check your credit score, what is a credit score, what contributes to a credit score, this is the video for you. Hey everyone, my name is Cindy Brown, financial coach and budgeting expert, here to help single black women just like you spend money with confidence. This channel is for single black women who feel overwhelmed when they think about their financial future, confused when they think about managing their money, and shame when they think about their financial situation. I'm here to help you create and stick to a budget so that you can stop living paycheck to paycheck and start spending money with confidence. Make sure you hit the subscribe button so you never miss another video. Alright, before we get started on this video, I want to make sure you have subscribed to my free newsletter where we give you 52 actionable tips to help you manage your money better in the new year. Whatever video topic I'm discussing for the month, I go into way more detail in my newsletter, and I always give bonus tips and tricks to my people. So if you are interested in that newsletter, feel free to subscribe. The link is in the bio. If you're wondering where this video topic came from, it came from my Instagram stories. If you're not following me on Instagram, please do. That's where I source a lot of my video topics. This one I was looking for a sexier video topic. I need something that gets people going, and credit scores is just that topic. Chef's kiss. So today's topic is going to be 7 myths about credit scores debunked. Alright, so myth number 1, a good credit score means that you're rich. So this is absolutely false. Just starting off from the top, this is absolutely false. A good credit score does not mean that you're rich. A good credit score does not mean that you're wealthy. A good credit score is not a measure of your financial success. A lot of people like to brag about their credit score, about how they have a perfect credit score, and they're doing so well with their credit score. A credit score is nothing more than a measure of your financial risk to the bank. So when it comes to lending you money, are you somebody who is good financial risk, or are you somebody who is kind of reckless and irresponsible? Alright, so number 2. Myth number 2 is my income affects my credit score. This is also false. Your credit score is not affected by your income. Myth number 3, checking my credit score lowers my credit score. So it's very common to believe that checking your credit score actually lowers your credit score, but that's not necessarily true. This is a myth. So checking your credit score is considered a soft pull. You may have heard a soft pull around in the streets, soft pull versus a hard pull. A soft pull is when you're checking your credit score through a legitimate source like the credit bureaus, and if you do this, it's not going to affect your credit score at all. However, on the flip side, actions such as applying for a credit card is considered a hard pull, and a hard pull actually does temporarily negatively affect your credit. So if you are somebody who goes to the store and they ask you if you want to apply for a credit card, you apply for a credit card and you get denied, and then you go to another store and then you apply for a credit card and you get denied, and then you go to another credit card and you go to another store and you apply for another credit card, you get denied. That is 3 hard pulls on your account, and that is going to negatively affect your credit score. However, if you do a soft pull and you inquire on your credit score online, that is considered a soft pull through the credit bureaus, and that will not affect your credit score. So there are 3 main ways that you can see your credit score. One is going to be through your financial institution. Some banks, if you already have a credit card, they will have it already on your loan statement, like whatever your statement balance is. Sometimes the financial institution will provide you with your credit score. You can also purchase your credit score from the credit bureaus, or you can use a credit service such as Credit Karma, places like that charge you a subscription in order to receive your credit score. Moving on to myth number 4. Myth number 4 is going to be, I have one credit score. This is not true. It's very common to believe that you have one credit score. However, instead of one credit score, you have three. There are three financial bureaus: Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. Each credit bureau checks different information and gathers different information about you and have different ways of determining their credit score for you. So each score will be a little bit different depending on how each credit bureau is calculating that score for you. And the best thing to do is just check all three, and that is a great way to have an idea of where you stand amongst all three. But in general, you're gonna probably be somewhere in the middle of the three scores. Myth number 5, a credit report is the same as a credit score. Your credit score and your credit report are not the same. It's very common to believe that a credit report and a credit score is the same thing. People use the words interchangeably, but they are not the same. On your credit report is a list of information about you, including your personal history, your living history, your payment history, the types of loan that you have, whether or not you paid them on time or not. It just has a variety of different information about you. It includes information about where you've lived, whether you've been sued, if you've been arrested. It has a lot of information about you. But it's not your credit score. Your credit score is the 3-digit number that is used, that people often refer to as a credit score. So a credit report is different from your credit score. So that brings me to myth number 6, that your employer can see your credit score. That is also not true. It is not true that your employer can see your credit score. However, they do have access, or they can file or try to view your credit report with all this information about your bill payment history, your personal history, whether or not you've been sued, whether or not you've been arrested. All of this information can be provided to employers upon request. Ultimately, the purpose of a credit report is to help lenders determine whether or not you are a good financial risk. Are you somebody they want to loan money? And if you think about it in terms of loaning money to a friend, are they somebody who is responsible? Somebody you believe that can pay their money back? Are they somebody who you would give money to? Are you somebody that you would loan money to? Ask yourself this question. Oftentimes, your employer will use your credit report. Insurance companies use your credit report. Rental properties use your credit report to determine whether or not you will be able to rent an apartment there. This is why I believe it is so important to check your credit report. Check your credit report annually to make sure there are no discrepancies, there are any types of errors on your credit report, because you could be getting denied for a credit card based on something that's on your credit report that isn't true. So it's very important to check your credit report and just make sure that all the information on the credit report is actually accurate and everything is true, and you have the best chance for getting approved for a credit card or whatever, a mortgage or a car loan, things that you need in order to move forward or advance in your life. So how do you check your credit report? You check your credit report on annualcreditreport.com, and you're entitled to one free annual credit report each year. So because of the tragedies of the coronavirus pandemic, through December of 2023, you are actually entitled to a free credit report every week through December of 2023. So take advantage of that through the rest of the year. I think it is a great opportunity to see how your credit is improving over the course of the year. So the last myth number 7, is that carrying a balance on your credit card will actually improve your credit score. This is actually false. It's very common to believe that carrying a balance, oftentimes people carry a balance, more than 50% of Americans carry a balance on their credit card in order to boost their credit score, but that does not actually improve your credit score at all. So there are 5 main components that compose your credit score, and the number 1 is utilization. How much of your given credit are you actually using? So for example, You open a credit card and you have a $10,000 limit on this credit card. However, you only use $1,000 of this credit card a month. Typically, you don't spend more than $1,000 on this credit card at a time. That would make your credit utilization 10%. And in general, that's a pretty good utilization rate. In general, it is recommended to keep your utilization below at least 30%. So if you have a $10,000 credit limit, using more than $3,000 of your credit card at a time is going to lower your credit score. Among FICO users that have an 800 credit score or above, they keep their utilization around 11.5%. So trying to keep your score as low, or keep your utilization, as low as possible is a great way to improve your credit score. It's the number one way to improve your credit score. This factor itself, utilization, this factor of utilization affects 30% of your credit score. So for example, if you're only using like $10 of a $10,000 limit credit card, your utilization would be so extremely low, and that would be a good indicator for borrowers that you are a good credit risk. Something you can do to improve your credit score, if you see that you need more credit than you're actually using, or you need more credit than you have given to you. For example, if you only have a $500 credit limit and you're always using $500 a month, you probably should try to ask for a higher credit increase. You can always request through the bank that you have a credit limit increase. So you just call the bank, ask them for a credit limit increase. Oftentimes they'll ask you if anything's changed about you. Have you had more income? Have you changed jobs? Has something about since they last spoke to you changed? And if so, oftentimes they will grant you a credit limit increase. I think as you're trying to build credit, it's a great thing to do. But don't do it very often, maybe like every 6 months, or if every time something changes, if you get a new job. Every time you get a new job, if you change jobs regularly, request a credit limit increase, and that it will temporarily negatively affect your credit score in terms of you're making a hard pull through the credit companies. However, over the long term, being as utilization is the greatest indicator for a high credit score, this will be something that will long-term affect you positively by giving you more wiggle room for your utilization. Number two factor in improving your credit score is payment history. This makes up 35% of your overall credit score. So this is another big one. Making payments on time. Are you paying in full every month on time? That is a great way to improve your credit score. If you already have a low score, late payment will not affect you as much as if you have a good score. If you already have a pretty good credit score and you miss one payment more than about 30 days, that can negatively affect your credit score by about 100 points. So making on-time payments is very important, and trying to stay on time is a great way to improve your credit score. Length of credit history is another factor that affects your credit score. Oftentimes, people with over an 800 credit score have accounts dating back as long as 27 years or more. So having a nice, long, healthy credit history with on-time payments and low utilization will get you to have a nearly perfect credit score. New credit activity. New credit activity is another thing that can affect your credit score. So in the example I used earlier, where you're going around trying to get your first credit card and you're applying at all these different stores, trying to get approved for a credit card, that can negatively affect your credit score because it's affecting the new activity. You have 3 new applications for the bank or for these credit reporting industries. It kind of indicates that maybe something is going wrong. Maybe you need money. Maybe you're going through a hard time and you need to access credit cards to, bridge the gap between a negatively affecting situation. So not having a whole lot of new applications all at the same time is going to positively impact your credit score. So if you're gonna apply for a credit score or credit card, apply for the credit card. If you are denied, wait a little bit before applying for your next credit card. Try to have something change about you. For example, you can check your credit report and make sure all of the facts on there are very positive. In these situations, oftentimes that can try to improve something before you apply for another credit card. Finally, credit mix. And this is like, do you have a mortgage? Do you have a student loan? Do you have a car loan? Do you have a bank loan? So sometimes if you only had a student loan, getting a credit card could change or improve your credit mix. Or if you had a car loan, maybe getting a mortgage can improve your credit mix. They just want to see that you're consistent across different types of loans. You're not just paying off one type of debt. So there you have it. I hope that answers your questions around credit scores, credit cards, credit reports. If you have any questions about credit scores or credit reports, please drop them in the comments. I think this was a great question. I really enjoyed answering it, and I do encourage you guys to continue to ask me questions because I love hearing from you and I love answering these questions. Also, please make sure to subscribe so you never miss another video. And don't forget to join the mailing list to make sure you get all the bonus tips and any type of PDFs I want to make. I always send them out to my group of people. That's it for today. Bye!